Hello everybody and welcome back to the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations walkthrough. It is time to continue on with Iris's testimony. And yes it does matter whether it had stopped snowing or not. And yes, there is actually a way that you could have crossed the burning bridge. Well, not actually you, but somebody. And actually, it would mean that Larry was right, which means, oh my god, he would actually have been correct. Like, seriously? It's just like, oh my god. So, let's get into this cross-examination. So, yeah, just know it does matter, but this is what we want to get to. Because, yeah, Larry's sketch presents us with a possibility. Completely ridiculous as it may seem, it's still possible. Because, yeah, if Larry did indeed paint what he saw, and to be fair, he's so dim that there's no way that he could not have come up with that had he not actually seen it, that would suggest that the sketch is in some way correct. As ridiculous as it may sound, the sketch is right. Well, we do want to turn the case upside down. You keep saying it so often, it makes me feel like we should turn a little something upside down. Because, actually, if we, you know, turn the sketch upside down, then, yeah, it's exactly, well, actually, tell a lie, it's not exactly what happened, although technically it is. But this is just a funny little thing that you can do, because you won't actually get a penalty for saying this, so you know what? Just thought, let's do it, because it's kind of hilarious. So, yeah, basically the actual answer is a complete contradiction. Even though, actually, you know what?
Objection!
Yeah. It does show exactly what's happened, just in a slightly abstract way and in the wrong orientation. So yeah, he's probably not going to forgive any more mistakes. But yeah, we can solve this very easily. There's a complete contradiction because if you turn it on its head, then actually it all makes sense. So the thing that contradicts reality is those wires. Because if you actually look at the picture of Dusky Bridge, you can see that the wires don't go up. The wires go down, and you've actually given us the way to prove this, Gono, because you gave us a photo of Dusky Bridge immediately after the night of the murder. And yeah, it's completely the wrong way round. Don't know, you didn't spell that one, mate. I know your eyesight's like bad and all, but Jesus wept. You would have thought you would have been able to spot that. Because it's pretty obvious, all things considered, if you ask me. And the reason he made that mistake, well, he just woke up. So he was lying down, opened his eyes because there was a massive crack, and yeah, boom! He saw a figure floating underneath the bridge, but because he was upside down, he saw something flying over the top of it. And he painted exactly what he remembered. So, for once, Larry was actually telling the truth. And so for once, Larry has actually been useful. Like, oh my god. So yes, and actually, this would also explain something very peculiar about the autopsy report. Because obviously the autopsy says that her body fell about 10 metres after death. Now, if the body was swung from one end of the canyon to the next, over and under the bridge, then the body could quite easily have fallen about that height. So, you really didn't think this all through, did you, Goddo? You could have prevented us from getting to this solution had you not presented that photo. Because, yes, the rope was readily available, actually, because it had snapped off, as we can see in the photo that you presented, Goddo, because it's just dangling there, and that's a pretty long rope. And it would have been about 10 yards long, because the entire bridge is like 20 yards long, which would be more than enough to get the body across. I do have the worry of, well, they can't hide it very well for the body to come loose as it swung up. Because, like, anything could have dropped during that time. And to be fair, the body could have ended up in the river, which probably would have solved some things, I suppose. But would have made things extraordinarily difficult to prove anything. Well, yes, I believe that we can prove this all, to be fair. Because obviously we have the autopsy report, which says that she fell. And if she'd been flung, then yes, she probably would have fallen from a decent height after death, because she was murdered on the inner temple side. And that would mean that she would have landed about there. And there's a little something that also indicates that. So yeah, obviously we've got the whole thing that the body dropped, but we've got a little something else that proves that the body landed there specifically, which we'll get to, obviously. I do worry about the fact of, here we go. The crystal sphere was located at the very point where she would have landed. And the only way that that crystal would have come loose would have been if she'd landed with some degree of force. And therefore, yeah, it's all proven. And oh, for God's sake, do not need coffee in our faces. Thank you very much. Though at least it's cold and not scalding hot, because that would not be nice on anybody's face. Could probably lead to some burns if it was that hot. Also, I feel like Nick would really need a shower at this point, because, like, coffee in your hair as well. Just, distinctly unpleasant if you ask me. Well, I mean, this is the slight problem, but already Iris has claimed to be the one who desecrated the body. Iris was the one who was seen on the Hazakura Temple side, and therefore Iris has to be the one who collected the body. Which means that Iris couldn't have witnessed what she said she witnessed, and therefore her testimony is a load of old crock.
Objection!
So, here we go. The reality is going to come out right now. Now, this is the crux of the matter. Yeah. This can't actually be Iris. And if this isn't Iris, then, that would imply that this is in fact one hideously evil person. That's right. The woman standing here is in fact Dahlia Hawthorne. Yeah, I mean, she was a psychopath back then. She's still a psychopath now. And why does everybody forget about the crane channeling technique? Because... actually, also what this would imply is that someone is channeling Dahlia right now. Which is incredibly worrying, if you ask me. Oh, it's all coming out now! And there's no just happened to about it, because we already know that someone was trying to channel Dahlia because of Morgan's letter. There's no such thing as coincidence in this world, only inevitability. And we are just throwing out the truth right now. It's just like, take that, and that, and that, and that, and that. We're like, ultimately badassing this trial right now. I don't care that I made that cock up earlier. So yeah, the real Iris was in the main hall. Dahlia Hawthorne was at the inner temple.
Objection.
And as ridiculous as it sounds, it is the only way that this could actually be true. And I'm sorry, but how do you know that? Oh. So, my guess here is that he's going to suggest that Iris has never been out of police custody, and therefore Iris has been with the police the entire time she's been under supervision. But, actually, we know that there was a time when a switch could have been made. Because there was the earthquake, and she ran away. And one trick lock became 5 trick locks. And therefore, yes, this can be Dahlia Hawthorne. It can not be the real Iris. And that is exactly what we're going to explain right now. So, yes. As I said, they switched places after the earthquake. And that is if you ask me, still quite worrying, actually. Because, yeah... always fun, isn't it? And, yeah, sorry, Edgeworth. Not your fault. But it was him that let her escape for a moment. So, with this being the truth of what happened, there is no way to hide. This truly is Dahlia Hawthorne inhabiting the body of a spirit medium, and finally she reveals her true self. Self. This is indeed Dahlia Hawthorne. It's been a long time indeed.